Chapter 5. Sergey Popov. Katina's tight, youthful body normally calms Sergey's nerves. A few minutes with that girl would calm the monster raging within. But after the fiasco caused by this man with a stick, even his time alone with her hadn't helped. How could one man do so much damage to his operation? He stared at the ugly purple bruises swelling Katina's left eye shut. Still he felt no relief from his anger. Instead it grew to the breaking point. Sergey would explode if he didn't find an outlet. His peace would come from the death of the holy man and the bitch who followed him around like a lost puppy. Their heads separated from their bodies, presented to him on a gold platter. They'd pay for messing around in his business. It better happen soon, because Sergey needed blood to lift him from his funk. He'd get his revenge on them and their foolish protector. After returning from the impromptu field trip, he awoke the beautiful Katina, roughing her up before taking her. A few well-placed punches and kicks as foreplay. Even exercising his favorite activities with his favorite girl brought him no peace. He tossed and turned as he lay in bed, wondering if she still breathed. The sun filtered through the cracks in the heavy blackout curtains, souring his attitude. No response from Pavel and the fat cop fueled his anger. Beating Katina bloody only helped so much. To top it off, Katina would require a few days to recover from Sergey's fists. Even youth didn't protect her from such a severe beating. So you'd have another girl, or two, brought in later. Maybe they'd be able to quell his growing anger, even if they weren't his favorites. His ringtone for Pavel interrupted his lovely and violent thoughts. You better have good news. Best to get straight to business with inferiors. Let them know who ran the show. Sorry, boss. Arnold and I checked both the pastor's house and his church. Both were completely empty. We've been inquiring with the lowlife they hang with, but no one knows anything. Even some persuasion didn't get them talking. Do I have to remind you we must eliminate this threat? Nobody gets away with what they've done to me. Boss, I know. Arnold came up with an idea that flushed him out. Turn on the news. Sergey reached for the remote to his 80-inch flat-screen television mounted on the wall across from the bed. Most times the screen displayed porno for his and his lady's enjoyment, but it received cable channels too. He turned on the local 24-hour news station. A well-endowed, pretty blonde woman spoke while a massive fire consumed a house behind her. He made a note to find out who the blonde was, because Sergey could do wonders for her career if she put out for him. With the big screen's volume muted, he read the ticker running below her assets. It took him a minute to focus on the words. Local woman and pastor are persons of interest in 5 murders and arson of multiple structures to cover up their crimes. The moron cop came up with a decent idea. A decent idea as long as one of his officers picked him up. If they escaped the town and the Stadies picked him up instead, it would be a major complication. He hadn't bought the state police. Yet. Did you see it, boss? The fire we lit burned so hot it ignited neighboring houses. Even the people on her block will hate her for destroying their homes. With the statewide APB, they won't be able to hide anywhere long. Pavel, did you consider the complications if the Stadies picked them up instead of a cop on our payroll? No, boss. Sergey felt the red-hot surge of anger flowing through his body. He needed a way out. Only incompetent fools worked for him. They never thought about the big picture, only covering their stupid ass. Pavel had served them well, so far. Time to find his replacements. You two morons need to find them before anyone else does. Then you need to find the man with the stick who thought he could stick his nose into my business. I expect the 3 of them to be dead before the sun sets today. Do you understand? Yes, sir. Well... He pushed the disconnect button before Pavel finished his groveling. Who wanted to hear an incompetent idiot beg for mercy? The time for Sergey to grant anyone mercy ended long ago. Katina stirred, staggering from the bed. Sergey stood, blocking her escape path. His heart raced as he flexed his fists by his side. Where do you think you're going, sweetheart? To the bathroom? Before she finished speaking, Sergey struck her in the gut with his right fist. She doubled over, screaming in pain. He had thought striking her would improve his mood, but he still felt the same anger surging through him. No relief. Sergey shoved Katina to the floor, delivering a kick to her midsection. His foot dealt more damage than his fist, but it still didn't fill his emptiness. She curled up on the floor in a fetal position, groaning. Katina turned her head, pleading with her eyes for him to stop his attack. Tears poured out of her open eye, the one he hadn't damaged. Sergey hated seeing weakness in anyone, even his favorite whore. He dragged her onto her feet by her long red hair. "I'm done with you, bitch! Get out!" To emphasize his point, Sergey spat in her face, shoving her naked body toward the bedroom door. She stumbled over her own feet, falling face first on the hardwood floor. Katina crawled toward her clothes scattered across the floor. He stepped in front of her. "No, I bought you those clothes. They're mine. You leave with nothing, since that's what you came to me with. There's 100 women even better looking than you who would love to be here with me. Get out now before I do something worse." She struggled onto unsteady feet, staggering to the bedroom door, naked. Sergey watched Katina's awkward movements, roaring with uncontrollable laughter. Guess he would grace a different woman with his presence. He would have the blonde reporter brought to him in Katina's place. After he slammed the door behind the beaten woman, Sergey picked up the house phone. "Katina's on her way down to you. Make sure she disappears and no one finds what's left of her body." Sergey slammed down the receiver, hoping his men could handle this simple task for him. They had already failed in killing an unarmed woman and pastor earlier today. Disposing of the whore should be a simple task. But he thought the same thing about killing the pastor and his useless bitch. He'd miss Katina, his favorite plaything. Oh well, time to move on and find another. Plenty of eligible women would gladly take her place in his bed. He pleased every woman he met. The house phone's ringer interrupted his thoughts. "What?" Boss, Mr. Marino is on the line for you." Giovanni Marino was the next man up the line of command in the organization. Sergey knew this call wouldn't make him happy. Marino never called just to say hello. He was the most capable enforcer for the organization, commanding a small army of brutes who liked nothing more than inflicting pain on others. A man even more brutal than Sergey. "Hello? I'm going to cut to the chase, Sergey. We gave you a piece of our family business to run, and we're not seeing the normal flow of cash. The boss don't like that. So you better get it flowing, or I'm coming for a visit. Capiche?" "Yes, sir. We've had a slight problem with—" "Cazolio! The boss don't care, and I care even less about your tiny, insignificant problems. Fix them yourself, or you'll beg me for death. You don't want me there." The loud click preceded the dead line. Sergey knew he was in trouble if he didn't fix this quickly. He needed to find the two fugitives and put this mess to bed today. Marino would be unstoppable if the boss gave him the green light. He loved to hurt people and had issues with Sergey. An unstoppable monster of a man. Sergey needed to get his ass out on the streets. Shake some bushes and make something happen himself. Those two fools couldn't have gotten far. Show the world who owned Rocky Mount.